Now let's move to Dr. Deepak Deshpande. In fact, before the session, we were having an informal chat, and he's only getting 3 to 4 hours of sleep every day because of a lot of things which are happening around us. Deepak, I would like to ask you how industry will take shape, seeing changes in employee experience like gig economy, diversity, L&D patterns. What are your thoughts about it when we align all these to employer branding? Over to Deepak, please.
Let me compliment, sir, for getting the lethal combination. When I was first invited to speak on this, I said, what combination? Branding and technology, HR technology. I mean, this is like, while they look similar, I mean, they go hand in hand, but at the same time, they are very contrasting. You know, one is one topic like HR technology makes you talk about how digital world is changing the way we are living, right? And the aspirational, how we can take it to next level and how we can make our life simpler and easy and blah blah. And then we come up with huge plans. And while doing that, there's also it weaves a kind of uh, fence around you of branding. If you get it wrong, you get caught. First, it makes you commit and do certain things. We will do it this way for this reason, and then subtly, very quietly, it weaves a ring around. Be mindful about. I think Poonam gave a wonderful example about some of the companies. She talked about how it went to social media, took over, and again they had to look at and things like that. We have to be always wary about. You're not alone here. Everything is open. So this combination, like I said, is very, 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 very powerful combination, and it kind of sets the tone. So I must compliment so for getting that, and so delighted to listen to Amit, my friend, across the street, where we haven't met. We didn't know until we met in the last panel discussion, but it's joy to hear you. I think if I really envy him. Somebody coming from such a huge media house, they are the guys who actually set the narrative for the country. So I'm sure I'm so delighted to hear his views, and the ring fencing done by Poonam. I think that really helped us to get to the into the core of the discussion. So coming back to the question that you asked, how industry will take shape, seeing changes in employee experience like gig economy, or should I say L&D pattern and diversity. I think I would like to slightly modify this. One side you have the industry, and the other side you have the gig economy, or so to say L&D and things like diversity. These are two different sets of things that we are talking about. Each will influence each other, but none of them are having the supremacy to decide the other. They exist in an environment, right? They exist in an environment. They are not the environment. Industry exists in an environment. So also gig economy, or so to say L&D or diversity, things like that, they exist also in environment. So they're not separate by themselves. They're part of a system. So if you think minus COVID or prior to pre-COVID, these things existed. We had looked at these things differently. We had certain views about these things, very set patterns, proven. Like if I look back last 30 years, I can clearly recall how these things have remained same. At the same time, they have not remained same. They have changed very slowly. They have changed, and that change doesn't really hit us hard, because you have seen those small little changes leading to a bigger change. But when you look at 1960 and again 2010, you find, oh my God, was it like this? Today I saw a picture called Cycle, the cycle, and suddenly, oh my God, it's been ages since I saw the cycle. Kind of, it hits you hard. So likewise, industry and these three things, they have been always part of the environment. Now, post-COVID, we have a different way of looking. The advantage of this COVID, I must say, is that we have experienced this ourselves very intensely. We were forced into that situation. We didn't have a choice to think and brood over should I do this or not do this. You are only caught up, or only with one issue. If I don't do this, I am done. We are out of the game. You may not be there. No, you are so focused. So it was a one simple stroke. I think this code has put all together on one single platform called existence is the reality. The rest of the terms now again we are trying to pick up the threads called diversity, transformation, L&D, blah blah blah. All that is happening good, but once you have experienced this so intensely, now you know the real worth of life. You know the real meaning, the purpose behind each of this, and you have a different definition, the way of looking at these aspects. So while I am so happy, whatever I've experienced and learned over the last few weeks, it is also sad so many lives have gone. And this is a man-made disaster, and probably for something, and there's nothing better coming out of that. It will come eventually, but not at this cost. So keeping that thing apart, now diversity seems like not an issue at all anymore. We were just speaking, every day we have at least 10 to 15 customers asking, what if this happens? What if that happens? How are we going to deal with if a suspect is found in your office? What happens if if he's tested positive? What preparation are you doing? What is the safety for our people? N number of scenarios they're creating, and in the process, to answer them, we were pushed into imagining certain things and simulating and trying to actually write down those workflows, and that is why they are saying, oh yeah, this is doable, and that gives us immense confidence. And some of those things actually we are implementing. Certain things may not have happened, but the fact that we have gone through that journey mentally and prepared ourselves, we never thought that joining can happen virtually without compromising everything that you were anyway doing physically. We never thought L&D can be done beyond with the same degree of finesse and effectiveness the way you would do in a classroom or when the organization opened in pre-COVID times I'm talking. But touch wood, today we are not compromising on any of those. Maybe I think today if I say then we were 8 on 10 or 8.5 on 10. Today I would say definitely we have begun our journey remote working, whether it is joining or whether it is exits or whether it is training or whether it is reviews. We have definitely started the journey by being on 7. 2 days flat, we put the remote organization into operations. 2 days flat, 900 employees in Bombay city alone, across in few more cities. Overnight, 2 days, we made them functional, and then started the journey. Then you are worried about people working from home. How do we get them, integrated? Today, I don't see any organization at all. It's all over the place. We have used the technology. Now it is like that is our air now. That's our environment. That's our world. So whether it is diversity, it doesn't matter who is sitting, who is beyond this, screen. It does not really matter to me as long as the job is being done. Gig economy, I think that is, we have lived with this for it took quite some time for us to understand, I need to have contractors, should I go for it? Confidentiality issues, continuity problems, quality issues, what if he's there, what if, blah, blah, blah. I think now it has become a reality. This has forced us to, more jobs, more different jobs, new ways of doing things. One side, Amit did say, yes, I concur to it when he said, so many jobs getting lost, which is fine, but maybe 4 times of that number might get created. It's all about, this is churned, upside down the whole thing. So if I look closely, how am I going to do L&D differently? How am I looking at diversity? Until now, I had a definition of diversity. Today, I don't even bother whether it's a 60-year-old or what sex or which region, what color, what caste, any other thought process also. I just say delivery, output, availability. I think you did mention in the opening comment about are you available 24/7? Are you responsive? Or are you reliable? That's what they're saying. So I think we will be measured by these parameters: connectivity, right? Competence, collaboration, right? At the same time, the softer parts will not go, whether it is compassion or the consideration, they will not go. They will remain there. These are the core of our existence. They will always be there, whether how much our technology grows. So will these change the industry? how will the industry behave? It will change. How will it change? Will the gig economy or the L&D and the diversity will define the industry? Yes and no. Or will the industry decide what kind of gig economy should be, how they should behave? No, I don't think those questions are fair to each other to ask. It is the environment. Like for instance, I was reading this article from TCS, which says that I think I have over 5 lakh employees. 3.75 lakh employees, they're going to go, there's a remote working. Just imagine these 3.75 employees sitting in so sprawling big facilities. The real estate price has gone up in those regions. So many, mushrooming of the malls and residential complexes, everything, growing there. Now imagine that not coming to that area at all. What will happen? You have seen so many malls dying, on the LBS. You go from Mulund to, almost Kurla and all, so many malls, they're just decaying. They're all empty, good for shootings. Last scene in a movie, Bollywood movie. They've become like that. Now imagine if this becomes a reality, it's going to change the life. Traffic, roads are going to be less crowded. LPS park is going to be easy to drive, right? So I was saying that the environment is going to decide. People, businesses being businesses, their focus will always be on productivity, profitability. Of course, people is an important part. It will always be there. But the magnitude, the scale of managing that important workforce, that the headquarters is going to shift from there to a virtual world.
Now, we would like to have view from Dr. Deepak Deshpande on importance of surveillance and data security in the changing times. So over to Deepak, please.
What a coincidence. My product head will kill me if he sees me hearing about, surveillance and IT security and things like that. Good, he's not on the call. Nevertheless, I will take it from two perspectives. One is as an individual, not somebody who's working in an IT or data center company which is offering these services, but otherwise, as an individual also, I think we all know the implications, the importance of digital surveillance or data security. It's been part of our lives. Only thing is we didn't pay attention. We never took it as, as seriously as it should have been. The first time I heard of surveillance was, when I came to Mumbai years ago, that, housing societies have, offices have, then housing societies have. Now, I think you find them all over the cities and towns, thanks to global terrorism and things like that. I think surveillance is all and here to stay. And we have seen in n number of cases and examples how it's playing an important role. And today it has become a part of our lives. So that is not denied. I mean, it is there to stay. Data security, I think we have now started to realize, and some of us have learned it bad way when some of our data or information is compromised, when we responded or clicked on certain links that came to us appealing for something, or we didn't pay attention. We heard it hard way, right? When cloud was initially launched in 2008-9, and that's when I think it came to India, everybody had apprehensions about cloud. And 10 years from now, and then I think today we are talking nothing but cloud. There are still skeptics who are saying cloud is not secure. So cloud comes with different versions, private, public, hybrid, name what. Now different service providers have come with their own architecture, their own offerings. Now the same people have gone for multi-cloud solutions, and the security issue is still there, right? So to put it simply, I think there is no doubt about the importance of data security and surveillance in our lives. It is going to be there. We will find it intrusive. Employees, as a HR person and organizations, people will find it intrusive, and they will have apprehensions. So we have to draw a line how much when it comes to surveillance. It's end up one side we are talking about employee trust and things like that, building branding and several issues when it comes to relationship managing, getting the trust of people. So surveillance is a part of it, but where to start, where to stop is a question that we need to really apply. It has to be a good balance between both. I remember in early 2000 or late 90s, we used to have remote monitoring control of certain employees we used to do, and I wouldn't take the name. Then I was working for a different company, so we suspected he was doing certain things that were not appropriate, so we had to take the remote control of his monitor and try to actually nail him down, right? Now 2 decades later, we find still we have a different smart ways of surveillance. They come in terms of firewalls and certain programs coded there, and you can actually see what's happening. But we'll leave it that to the IT experts and CTOs and CIOs, to decide the. But as HR professionals and leaders in our organizations for the functions, we need to be really fair, transparent, ethical. When it comes to surveillance of employees is concerned, we need to be really ethical. And that there could be temptation, given some certain employees themselves indulge in, they violate all the laws of code of business conduct. They are involved in data theft and things like that. So there, I think sometimes you may have to yield to resort to certain things, right?
Thanks, Deepak. So we have to have a balance between you are saying how to leverage technology. At the same time, we should not include the privacy of the people.
To Deshpande sir, I have very commonly asked question in the session where our HR folks are wanting to know and understand in these tough times, how do we handle the employee engagement piece? Would you like to enlighten a bit?
Okay. Employee engagement bit. Okay. I think I like to keep things very simple and straight. That's the only way I know. We have always, I think, any HR professional or every HR professional has grown or evolved over years, listening to this mantra, be transparent, be fair, be open, be considerate, be compassionate, I think these will remain the same. Secondly, you cannot change your employee engagement, the spirit behind the employee engagement, the soul behind the employee engagement. It will not change drastically because of COVID or instances like this. I think there was a wonderful question around branding, right? So I will take a leaf from there. See, whatever the company is, whatever I am today, the company has already seen me. If the company is existing, take our own company, NTT Netmagic. We've been there for, Netmagic has been there for 20 odd years now, right? Whatever we are, people have seen it. People have experienced it. They have spoken about it. They know what we are. No matter how we claim, how we brand, it's not going to change. The reality will remain the same. What the experience of Netmagic and the leadership of Netmagic and the functions of HODs, the leaders of Netmagic, that will remain the same. It will become better or bad, but it is constantly evolving. So also is true of employee engagement. The way you have been engaging your team from day one and over years, you have evolved and you are refined your processes, and it has become a natural way of being. There should not, I would see employee engagement as not as a labored effort. It should be a natural way of working, right? Even if you are doing reviews, there is an engagement there, an element of engagement. Employee should feel that is engaged. Your conversation, whether it is a serious discussion about appraisal or performance review or product reviews or anything, they need to feel that level. Plus, we need to keep them in, communicate. What are you? I think the number of, I think our journey on COVID started on 4th or 5th of March, right? When we heard things are getting, suddenly we got into, a huge, communications long. I mean, very clear, crystal clear, the amount of communications that we have sent to people. We have had, discussion, open houses, connect meetings that we call them virtual, right? We have had this Zoom call meetings, everything that we had, so many and so full, to the extent that now today we are reaching their homes. They say, guys, you need to be safe at home. Charity begins at home. It's not only your flat, it's not your floor, it's not only your building, their tower, your society. You need to do ABCD. Just yesterday we had a call, town hall, where we said, please join this call for 1 hour. We will share with you what are the best practices, how to be safe at home, and share with us what is that you are doing well or not doing well, what are the challenges you are facing. To that extent, we are going beyond the office, because now our office is now represented there. We want him to be safe. So the engagement is like doing what is required at that moment, constantly, consistently echoing the same spirit and the mindset and attitude. Again, if this is done with honesty, integrity, and respect and consideration, it will. People, love speaks, love touches. It reaches heart, it crosses barriers. Thank you
so much. So I appreciate everyone's time, both sides. My panelists, you have given enough food for thought to all the members here. Thank you so much for your time and insights being expressed. Let me thank all the audience for taking out the time and attending the session in big numbers. We will try to have the narrative of the session being shared with you all, so that you can actually take the summary out from it. Thank you so much once again, and we hope to see you all connected with the digital HR platform. We look forward to have similar sessions in near future too. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you, Punem. Thank you.